Damon Bruce here. Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Friday night in the NBA. It's the Utah Jazz going up against Luis Scola and the Phoenix Suns. And now let's send it out to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. I'll see you at halftime, everybody.
It's the home of the Suns here in Phoenix, Arizona, as 2K Sports brings you today's live action from the U.S. Airways Center. 2K Sports brings you Friday night NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. On the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. The Suns, they continue their stretch of home games. They're one of the most dangerous teams in the NBA right now. No question, they've won 7 of their last 8.
Well, right now for the Suns, they've gotten off to exactly the kind of start they were hoping for. It may be just a small sample size, but they've really been impressive.
Well, they've caught me off guard, Clark, because prior to the season, I didn't think they would be very good. But they've been impressive. They've done a nice job of putting together a solid roster. And this team is playing hard for their coach. They're competing on a nightly basis, and they built some early momentum here in the season.
The starters for the Utah Jazz at the 4 and 5, Paul Millsap and Al Jefferson. Bella's out there with Mo Williams, and it's Graham in at the small forward. And for the Suns, Beasley and Scola, they're the forwards. Dragic and Dudley are the backcourt tandem, and it's Gortat in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
You know, it's a little strange to not have the Suns in the playoffs for a consecutive year. Last year, they came close, but ended up finishing 3 games back of the 8th playoff spot.
That's good.
That's a defensive let-up right there. I mean, they've got to close down on him quicker when he's in three-point range.
Outside Williams. Graham. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Back to what you said about the Suns, this franchise has had such an easy time making the playoffs for the past couple decades that even 2 years with no playoffs seems like a drought for them. Steve, you know that firsthand. You were the general manager there at one time.
Yeah, it's been such a successful franchise over the last 40-plus years, Kevin, that it surprises you when they're not in the postseason. But, look, this is how the NBA works. It goes in cycles, and right now they're in a little bit of a down spell.
We've played just over a minute here in the first. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hi, guys. I caught up with Coach Alvin Gentry. We talked about the keys to this game, and he singled out Paul Millsap as a player they've simply got to be mindful of. Coach told me he's always been an energy guy, someone you have to locate and box out every possession. But he's developed his offensive game to the point where he's more than just a hustle guy. He's also a scoring threat now, and a guy we can't leave open. They'll be watching him, Kevin.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Back to Williams. Ugly with it. Just about 2 minutes into the game. First quarter of basketball. A second chance effort. And it's Beasley. That time in the assist from Gortat. Beasley's got his second basket.
And it's his poise at the offensive end that impresses me most. This guy is unflappable.
Former number 2 overall draft picks don't often fly under the radar, but that's what happened with Michael Beasley in the offseason. He had some options on where to end up, but the Suns made their pitch and they got him. And you really don't want to give up too many dunks like that. One is too many.
Oh, yeah. No, certainly you're right. You know, that's making it way too easy for sure.
Yeah, major breakdown defensively. They've got to tighten things up here.
Here's Bell. Jefferson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, talking about Beasley, it seemed to me like a pretty good gamble for Phoenix to sign him in the offseason. You see his potential offensively. He can really score the ball. And with Nash on his way out, playing for the Lakers now, the Suns needed scoring, and that's what made the Beasley move make sense.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for the Suns. Now here's Leonard. There's Dragic with the three. Another three for Phoenix.
You know, he didn't have too much space to get that shot off, but for him, he had enough.
The pass to Bell. Back to Williams. Shoots over Dragic. That's good from Williams on the assist by Bell. Williams has got his first basket of the night.
You know, if you're talking about making the playoffs in the Western Conference, Kevin, you're always going to have to be 500 or better against the teams in the Western Conference. And the Jazz did that and got in last season.
Clark, just to follow up that point you made on the Jazz, they finished 25-23 against the West, and it was just enough to sneak in there.
Just barely.
Yeah, Steve, it doesn't matter how you get in, they got in.
Yeah, they got in, which was quite an accomplishment for a young club. And I get the feeling it won't be the last time that this group makes the playoffs. A lot of talent growing together and a lot of good high-character players in that organization. This team's going to be a force to be reckoned with for the next few years.
Channing Frye's checked in for Michael Beasley. Marvin Williams is checked in for Utah. Watson comes in for Jamal Tinsley. They get it back. And that one's good by Favors. Favors has got his first 2 points.
He was not to be denied that time, guys. Fought his way to the glass and came up with the points.
Arenas kicks to Brown. Shot clock at 6. Here's Arenas. Drills the three-pointer. Arenas has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Well, another uncontested three there. They've got to make some kind of an adjustment. I mean, they're giving up way too many open threes.
Well, the last 5 hoops, 3 have come off wide open three-pointers, Clark. So it's one thing to give up one, but you start giving three-pointers up in bunches, you're in big trouble. Yeah, he got whacked. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
And Burks, out of Colorado, very explosive two-guard, great ball handling ability. And as he develops that offensive game, look out, because he has a ton of ability and talent.
Yeah, talent for sure. He also has a lot of potential as a slasher. He's got the leaping ability and the balance to take it inside and finish over the D. Here's Williams. The Suns getting the bucket. Back to Millsap. Passes to Burks. Favors in the post. He's against Fry. The kick out to Williams. Outside Millsap. Back to Williams. Second chance shot. Tries yet again. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul them, and free throws are better than a layup.
Both teams deciding to change it up. And he sinks the second. And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. This is their second game playing the Jazz this season.
Yeah, and in that victory, they got huge contributions from their bench, and I thought their depth was really the major factor in that game.
Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close.
Coming up next Monday, Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs take on Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's Western Conference action. You don't want to miss it.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And from what we've seen, guys, from the Suns, what are you thinking so far?
Boy, a ton of threes in that first quarter. This team really lighting it up, guys.
Yeah, it's been an onslaught from downtown.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. Setting the floor for the Suns. Beasley out there with Gortat. Then there's Dragic. Then it's Brown. And it's Leonard in at the small forward.
You know, the Jazz have always been known as a strong team at home, but The opposite can be said for when they hit the road. Just ugly at times for them away from Salt Lake City.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Fellas, the Phoenix Suns aren't one of the top-tier defensive teams in the league, but last season they did have their best defensive efficiency of the last 4 seasons. One of the possible keys, they simplified things. Jared Dudley said, "We're running just one pick-and-roll coverage and covering the post one certain way. Before, when you had 3 or 4 ways of covering, things get mixed up." Kevin?
Well, Doris, sometimes it makes sense to keep it simple. Thanks. Back to the Jazz, it is especially hard for them because they're such a young team, and if you get down, travel on the road, Steve, you know it, I mean, it's unforgiving.
Yeah, that's why they ended up with that 11-22 road record, Kevin. They've gained experience, though, and with a lot of young talent, I would think moving forward they're going to fare better and better as they grow as a unit.
Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Channing Frye's checked in for Gortat. Markieff Morris comes in for Michael Beasley. And it's Telfair in for Gilbert Arenas. Now here's Leonard. Graham defending. Jazz trail by 4. About a minute and a half into the second quarter now. The Jazz again can't hit it.
He got the shot he wanted off that pick, just couldn't get it to fall.
But, Steve, they'll take that play all day long, 10 times out of 10. That was good action.
And the Suns here with a different look. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Fry. Scola comes in for Markieff Morris. Jared Dudley's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Dragic in for Sebastian Telfair. Utah also making some changes. Al Jefferson is checked in for Williams. And it's Bell in for Alec Burks. Jefferson. Another miss by Utah. The Phoenix Suns come into this one after the win against Memphis.
And a lot of their points didn't come from the usual suspects in that win, Clark.
You're exactly right, Steve. The guys coming off the bench played a huge role. It was a really nice surprise for them.
The Suns have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
Well, collectively, this is a 73% free throw shooting team.
You know, the numbers from the line, guys, are close to where they were last year. But just a tad worse, so not too bad.
Earl Watson's checked in for Utah. The dish to Bell. He feeds it to Jefferson. Dishes it to Graham. Back to Jefferson. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second clock.
Alvin Gentry, one of the great guys in this league, so well liked, and I think has developed into one of the better coaches in the league. Helped his team make that late playoff push last season.
And the Suns making a change here. Beasley's checked in. Inside to Jefferson. It's good, and Watson picking up the assist.
Kevin, he's one of the best finishers we've got in this league. I mean, he rarely misses an opportunity to score inside when he has position.
And, Steve, he's a great post scorer. I mean, he's got moves and counter moves, excellent footwork and balance. He really knows how to get his points down low.
Beasley, the pass to Bonner. Pass to Dudley. Kicks it to Beasley. Bonner, defended by Jefferson. For the 3. They get it again. Alley-oop pass. Very pretty alley-oop layup. And the Suns lead by 8. .153 left in the first half. And Alvin Gentry, Steve, you mentioned well-liked by his players. Do you feel like your best coaches were also the ones who were most liked by their players?
Not necessarily, Kevin. It's not about being liked. It's about being respected. And the best coaches are the ones who you really like, but you also are a little afraid of. And I think it's a fine balance. Greg Popovich has it. And I think Gentry the last several years has developed that balance, and that's why he's been such a good coach.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, the young big man Derek Favors emerging as an elite defensive presence for the Utah Jazz, and his offensive game certainly showing strides as well. Former teammate Devin Harris said he's probably the strongest player I've seen for his age. Once he understands how to play, he'll be one of the best power forwards in the game. Kevin, a lot of excitement about the young talent in Utah.
And Favors right at the front of that list. Thank you, Doris. Off his foot, and the official saying it was kicked. So for the Suns, Shannon Brown. He's checked in for Dudley. And Gilbert Arenas subbed in for Goran Dragic. The Jazz also changing it up. Enes Kanter's checked in for Jefferson. Hayward comes in for Joey Graham. And Jamal Tinsley is subbed in for Earl Watson. Kanter's shot is off. Suns leading by 8. And that one's good by Gortat. Gortat's got 4 points in the quarter.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
Channing Price checked in for the Jazz. The Suns shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And, you know, you don't have to tell them what their free throw numbers are. I mean, they're well aware of it, believe me.
Williams kicks to Favors. Hammers the alley-oop through.
There's one thing about the alley-oop. You can't fire the pass in there. You've got to have some air under that pass. It needs a little hang time.
That's exactly right. A lot of finesse, just like that one was. Perfectly thrown.
And that's what makes the play so much fun to watch. There's finesse on the front end, but then power on the end.
Tries it from 9. Shot's good by Williams.
Boy, every time they drop it in, they do so from close range. Easy baskets.
Yeah, high percentage looks time and time again, guys. And it's paying off for them. The way they're playing this game, I like their strategy.
We've got 28 seconds left in the first half. He dishes it to Hayward. Feeds it to Favors. Working on Fry. And there's the feed to Hayward. He kicks it to Kanter. 5 on the clock. Here's Burks. It's hauled in by Brown.
That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Here's Arena. Good!
Ooh-wee, Kevin. That was a big shot to extend their lead or send them into halftime with momentum.
And we finished one half of basketball. Suns ahead, up by 12. And get ready now for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. The second half will be coming up right after that on 2K Sports.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
The NBA season is rolling right along. Let's look back at the first half. The Suns came out with a full head of steam. They've dialed in from long range, an incredible shooting performance from outside. Goran Dragic with some valuable contributions. His scoring has been on the rise, his game improving by leaps and bounds. And the Jazz, they're putting up a fight. A team definitely in the mix for the playoffs, and as a matter of fact, if they win this one, they'll move into the 8th spot. Derek Favors giving his team a big boost. He has 6 points and has also grabbed it.
Now it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. For the Utah Jazz, they come in off a loss to the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, they probably should have abandoned the three-point shot in that game because their percentage was terrible. But they kept firing away from long range.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I thought that was one of the things that doomed them. I mean, you can't stick with something if it's not working for you.
Tipping off the second half, here's Tyrone Corbin's 5. At the 4 and 5, Paul Millsap and Al Jefferson. Mo Williams out there with Bell, and it's Graham in at the 3.
There's Tyrone Corbin in his 2nd season as head coach of the Jazz. Before that, he'd spent 7 years as an assistant coach in Utah.
Slams it on the run.
Ammonia strong finish right there, partner. You hear me? That was ammonia strong.
Yeah, ripped it down with 2 hands.
That's about as high percentage as you can get.
Second half just getting started, about a minute played. Going back to Tyrone Corbin, 16-year journeyman career as a player in the NBA. Played for 10 teams in all, the Utah Jazz among them.
Yeah, 3 years in Utah. He was always known as kind of a grinder. Every coach loved him because he played so hard. And, those qualities, I think, translate well to the coaching ranks. Corbin knows how hard it is to compete in the NBA. And, knows how hard it is to win. And so he's trying to put his guys in the best position to have success, and I think they really respect him for that.
And so it's Utah here with the ball, trailing by 13. Outside Millsap. Graham. And he lays it straight in. Graham's got 8 points.
They continue to barrel their way inside. When's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside. You know, one thing I really like about Paul Millsap is he'll get you those extra possessions. I mean, he's got a tremendous nose for the ball. He's an outstanding rebounder in college, and he also gets you steals and offensive rebounds. He's a possession grabber for you.
No wonder Jerry Sloan liked him so much when he brought him into the league. And it's Dragic with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. First team. There's the pass to Bell. He passes to Williams. Stolen by Dudley. Passes it to Dragic. The dish to Dudley. And stolen by Williams. And now in transition, here's Williams. Here we go. And the shot is good.
And still perfect here in the second half. 4 for 4 from the field.
Clark, touched on Millsap getting those extra possessions. He also is a very good passer. He's a guy who's, careless with the ball, so he helps limit your turnovers as well. Great quality to have, Steve.
Yeah, anytime you have a big who can pass, it really opens up your offense and gives you some options in terms of your execution. So I like Millsap, an excellent all-around player who plays with big energy.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Gortat. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Michael Beasley. And Gilbert Arenas subbed in for Jared Dudley.
Can't connect there, but still a red-hot start to the half, hitting 4 of their first 5 field goal attempts.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Outside Williams. He feeds it to Graham. Good, great play by Williams to set it up. Graham's got 6 points in the quarter.
Looked like they found the soft spot in the defense there.
Here is Bonner, defended by Jefferson. Scola, dishes to Bonner. Another 3 for Phoenix.
I love this guy, one of the best spot-up shooters around. Very dangerous if the defense loses sight of him, even for a second.
Well, you're talking real talk there, and running the pick and pop with him gives them an excellent option every time down the court.
The offensive rebound. Graham, the pass to Jefferson. The 10-footer finds the target. Jefferson's got 10 points.
Guys, he's really shot the ball well. It's definitely not his fault they find themselves trailing in this.
Leonard kicks to Scola. Dragic dishes to Arenas. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. 9 points for Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, they're getting scorched by all these open threes they're giving up.
Yeah, it's really been the biggest pitfall for this club so far tonight. So many wide open looks for the opponent.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Gilbert Arenas. That's his third foul of the game. And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Paul Millsap's checked in for Jefferson. Williams comes in for Derek Favors. Alec Burks checked in for Raja Bell. And Jamal Tinsley is subbed in for Mo Williams. Brown, Burks covering. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And Phoenix, I thought, was one of the surprise teams in the Western Conference a year ago. And one of the reasons was that they really played well within the conference. I think a lot of people expected them to struggle against that deep Western Conference, but they played well and I think had a much better record than that most people predicted.
Channing Frye's checked in for Phoenix. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Utah. Back to Williams. Jazz passing it around. Shot clock at 5. Burks can't get it to go.
He slipped into quite a funk here, Clark.
I think that's a good word to describe it. I mean, the basket is looking awfully small to him at the moment.
Dudley the pass to Fry. Over Millsap. Rejected by Millsap. No good. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. The Suns on top, just dominating this one. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports.
Coming up next Wednesday night.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Who's at the Sprite uncontainable game in this one? Well, let's send it out to our Dorisburg. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. And it's the Suns with the uncontainable game award for the offensive stretch they put together. They finished the third quarter in a strong way with that impressive run. It might just be the ticket to victory.
Great, thanks, Doris. And a very important turning point in this was when they started to gather that steam and really started rolling, guys.
Yeah, no question, Kevin. And that run changed the entire feel of this game. And it wasn't just their offense that made it happen. The stops they were making defensively played just as big a role.
And right at the start of that run, fellas, you could see the sudden injection of energy that went through the whole team. Then it was game on.
Dragic and Dudley are the backcourt tandem. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Beasley. And it's Scola in at center. That's who's out there for Phoenix. The Jazz shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. Williams gets a screen from Millsap. Millsap sets the pick for Williams. Bell. Back to Williams. Millsap misses. Suns leading by 23. Tries for the alley-oop. Lays it in off a pretty alley-oop.
Outstanding communication between the passer and the receiver that time.
Yeah, the timing and placement were spot on. You're right.
Yeah, with just a smooth finish, too.
Now here's Williams. Not a lot of room. This is to Jefferson. That drops.
And you love the concentration. He gets hit, but stays with the play.
Yeah, he showed a lot right there. Plenty of concentration, finding a way to get that shot to fall.
And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. Brown kicks to Morris. A rebound by the Jazz. Here's Williams. No good with the triple.
They continue to pull down misses, and that's how they're maintaining this lead.
Yeah, well, one and done is the recipe for continuing to hold on to a lead. You don't want to let the other team back in it by giving them extra possession.
Telfair kicks to Fry. Just 4 to shoot. But 3, and Telfair gets it to go. The assist from Channing Fry.
As 4 of their last 5 coming from long range, this offense is cooking.
Yeah, it's rolling, really rolling. And defensively, they kept collapsing, Steve, and leaving them open. So now they're in trouble. They're in a real dilemma now.
Well, that's his shot. He is really proficient from that mid-range.
Bonner. Rebound, Utah. Cantor's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Here's Tinsley. Can't get it to go. Now the Suns take it the other way. On the wing, Brown. Over Watson. And there's Brown. That's good on the assist by Morris. 6 points for Shannon Brown. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Tinsley. He's covered by Brown. Outside Williams. Over Morris. Here's Tinsley. Back to Jefferson. And that's going to be a treble.
You know, guys, you look at it, one turnover in the game, sometimes that can get overlooked. But I think it shows how well he's playing. I mean, he's really making the most of every possession.
Jared Dudley's checked in for the Suns. Arenas comes in for Shannon.
Look out. Pretty significant laps there on the defensive end, guys.
Yeah, those are the ones you just can't allow that.
No, if you're giving up dunks and layups defensively, you're in huge trouble.
And that last replay courtesy of Sprite. 3rd minute of action now gone here in the 4th. Here's Tinsley.
amazing the way the NBA has grown into a true international game the last 2 decades or so. So many great players coming from around the world. It truly is a global sport.
Suns have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor.
That's a great shot if there's 1 second left in the game.
Yeah, that would be the good time to do it. Not now, though.
Here's Burks. Rebounded by Dudley. Dudley's got his 4th rebound in this one. And to follow up on that point you were talking about, Steve, every year we see more and more nations represented with an NBA player. You know, it can only help the game grow worldwide.
Well, and remember, basketball is still a relatively young sport when you put it up against, say, soccer. So how about the countries that are just getting interested in basketball, whether it's India or China, the last decade or so? They have so many people there. They're bound to turn out some good, high-quality talent before too long.
They set the screen. Bonner dishes to Fry. Outside Arenas. 6 to shoot. Kicks it to Bonner. From the arc. Outside for Arenas. Telfair. That's good. It's Arenas with the assist.
Well, the outcome is not in question now. They've got it all wrapped up.
Agreed. I mean, they're just looking to simply run the clock out now.
Watson, the pass to Cantor. He dishes it to Hayward. Williams. Morris is there.
At the line of the Jazz, Marvin Williams. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Williams. Shannon Brown. He's checked in for Matt Bonner. And a switcher also for Utah. Alec Burks checked in for Derek Favors. 27 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Telfair kicks to Brown. That falls. Great assist by Sebastian Telfair.
And they're closing this game out in style. I mean, I like what they're doing here, competing till the very end.
That's certainly what it looks like. I mean, there's no let up in them so far.
Gets it to go. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Arenas. Lets it fly from 18.
And no defender was around him to influence that shot. It didn't hurt them there, but they can't make that mistake twice.
So it's the Suns winning easily here. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan player of the game, Gilbert Arenas.